Hello and welcome to Engine Adventures. Today we got the 2022 Chevy Traverse RS. The RS trim in the Traverse is much like the RS in the Equinox. It is an appearance package with some nicer interior features and such, but it's basically kind of this blacked out. You get the darker wheels, roof rack, some black trim, black right here on the grill, different unique grill. So the RS originally in the 60s was kind of an appearance package, and I had, you know, a few little upgrades, and that's kind of what Chevy's doing with this one. Some vehicles they change the performance, but for these SUVs, except for the Blazer, it's just a normal appearance package. It's powered by the 3.6 liter V6, transversely mounted this way, and let's take a look under the hood. It's a little windy out, so hopefully the audio is not too bad here, but it's got 310 horsepower and 270 foot-pounds of torque in the Traverse. In the Colorado, it's got a little less horsepower and a little more torque. But yeah, let's take a look inside. Here on the inside, it's pretty well appointed. It's got decent leather. Could be a little softer, but really not too bad. It's pretty durable leather surface. And then it's got this red stitching throughout on the seats and across the dash. And the screen, it actually looks pretty nice. It's not huge, which is fine. And sorry about the reflections there. But it looks pretty good overall, and the cameras are really pretty clear on it. So I have no qualms with the screen, with the camera system, infotainment system, all that. It seems great to me. It does have heated seats up front, heated steering wheel, and then yeah, in the rear it's just normal. There's no heated seats or anything. The wireless charging pad fits pretty much any size phone. That thing's huge. So I mean, it does have the ridges around there, but you may be able to charge it on an angle even with the ridges in the way if your phone's bigger than that. But yeah, it fits my phone, no problem. Headphone jack, or 3.5 millimeter, 2 USB A's. There is an SD card slot right above those, and then a 12 volt right there. Plenty of charging options. I don't know what this button does. That's kind of cool. I didn't know that existed, so I tried to push it once before while the car was off, or while I was driving, I think. If you're in drive, it won't let you do that, I guess. But interesting. It's got a little hidden cubby there. Chevy's been doing that on the Tahoe with the hidden cubby underneath there. Interesting. I don't mind that. I don't know. It's kind of an interesting spot for additional storage, but not too bad. The sunroof shade right here is a little bit hard to open. It's got like this clip on it with a ridge behind it, but the rear one is powered. So I don't know why they did it that way. Maybe to save some buttons right here. And then it has a tilt and slide open feature. Yeah, not a whole lot going on. You get a little RS symbol right there. And this one is the all-wheel drive. It does have the off-road mode and the trailer tow mode, and I think this thing can actually tow 5,000 pounds. I'll put that up on the screen. So it can tow a decent amount. And then it has just the regular two-wheel drive mode, which is what I left it in for most of the driving until that last 0 to 60 run I did, which you guys will see in a second. But yeah, I don't know, just regular headlights on the front. Maybe I should put that picture up too. So the headlights are actually down really low. They look like they are fog lights, but because they're so low in the bumper. But those are the actual headlights, and then the up top near the hood, those are just LED daytime running lights. Yeah. So in the back seat, it gets its own climate control and has the 120 volt outlet. These are always different, so but this one's 120. Could be 110, 115, 120 in that range, but this one's actually 120, 150 watts, so not a ton of power out of it. And 2 USB A's, and a little cubby down there that's actually pretty deep. And this one has the captain's chairs. So there is a decent amount of space on the seats here. Plenty of room. If it were 3-row, there would be plenty of room to fit 3 adults. And I have plenty of knee room here, and the seats do slide. So that's all the way forward, and I still have enough room. I'm 5'10", so, and that is my seating position when I drive. So if you're fitting adults, you could probably fit at least 2 rows worth of 6 foot plus tall people. But if you're going into the 3rd row, if you're taller than me, it'll be a little tight. So it's fine as is, and this seat can go forward a little bit more still. So 3 average sized adults, once you start getting over 6 feet, you're gonna have a little bit of trouble fitting 3 people over 6 feet behind each other. And it does have charging ports back here, one of these USB A's on either side, a couple little cubbies, cup holders there, and then yeah, that's about it for the far back seat. And it does have the vents up here. I should have mentioned that in the 2nd row. I do like having these vents up top, especially for kids in car seats. And as you can see, the captain's chairs have the car seats, but the rear row does not have the anchors. So it still has, and we'll look at that from the back, but it still has the anchors back here for the top part, but you have to use a seat belt to connect the bottom part of the seat. Try and get you out of the wind here. So to fold these seats, just pull the string and then push the seat forward, and the headrests obviously fold as well. When you do that, I like keeping them down while I'm driving. It actually looks like there's a fuse panel there. I was gonna say the battery, but yeah, it's definitely, there's a fuse panel behind that cubby, and additional storage underneath the seat here. All right, if you want to get to your spare wheel in the Traverse, you've got a little bit of work to do. Pop these 4 screws off. They're easy enough to do, but and then lift out this whole cover, and there's your spare tire with your jack and all of that, and some sort of a sensor right there. Not sure what that's for. Anyway, 19-inch wheel, and it's just a donut size, or a compact, or whatever size spare tire, and it is capless fuel fill, so it does have the funnel for filling it up from a gas can. Let's put that. Yeah, there's not a whole lot going on back here either. You get 112 volt right there, a couple of anchors on either side, so there's 4 of those. And if you fold the seat, some vehicles have additional anchors on the sides or whatever, but this one does not. And if you were to get the sunshade, it would fit into these pockets on either side and then slide in right there. All right, easy enough to fold and unfold those or restore them. And then on the rear hatch, you get one big hatch that opens, and the window does not open separately. And then, so on this one underneath here, I'm not sure what the blank's for, what the extra camera would be, but it does have the rear view camera and the rear view mirror camera. If we take a look right there, that's actually just the camera facing out, and then the actual mirror. So it does have a Bose sound system, and it sounds okay. It's nothing crazy. It's not 35 speakers or anything like that, but it does sound pretty good. Hopefully this shows up pretty clear for you. This one doesn't have a lot of options on it. So that sunroof, dual Skyscape sunroof, $1,500, and the trailer package, $650, which has the heavy duty cooling system, the hitch guidance view, and sorry, hitch guidance and hitch guidance with the view, and then the cherry red tint coat. I mean, total packages here, $2,645 with destination and everything. Brings it up to $50,000 for this vehicle. And right here it says it gets 17 city, 25 highway, and 20 combined. On the highway, I'm definitely over 25. Around town, I'm probably 17-ish, maybe a little lower, but I've been getting close to 30 on the freeway. So yeah, not too bad. Even sitting here idling and everything, I'm still at 21, better than the combined average. So I think, I don't know, at least the one I'm driving is getting a little bit better gas mileage than the EPA estimates. Like I said, the Traverse RS trim comes with a lot of extra options to begin with. I don't think I mentioned the 9-speed automatic. It is a 9-speed, of course, and it's made, final assembly is in the US and made mostly 47% US parts, 27% Mexico, and then the rest are kind of random, but the engine's made in Mexico, transmission made in the United States. Driving on the freeway, the Traverse is not too bad. It's fairly easy to keep a consistent speed, and there is a little bit of road noise and wind noise from it, and maybe slightly more, probably about on par with the rest of the class, maybe slightly more than a couple of, you know, the new Pathfinder or QX60 or something like that. And I mean, it drives pretty well overall. The engine doesn't have a lot of torque. It's like 270 foot-pounds, and it doesn't really come on until later. So there is that little bit of issue. If you're going to pass someone, it downshifts. Like, it's just what's going to happen. But as far as keeping speed, it does pretty well. You don't have to worry about constantly keeping your eye on the speedometer to make sure that you're not going to drop off and go too slow or pick up and go too fast. It's kind of in the right range. I was in a BMW last week, and so I felt initially like this vehicle was a little underpowered, but it really does cruise just fine. It doesn't, you know, going out these little overpasses and stuff, you lose a couple miles an hour, and then going down the backside, you'll be over a couple miles an hour of where you set your foot. So it's not super consistent, but it does pretty well. We're gonna do 0 to 60 here in 3, 2, 1, go. Spun the tires just a little bit. So this thing redlines almost 3,000 RPM, 7,000 RPM. It's the same engine that's in the Blazer and the Colorado, and has different torque and horsepower. A couple more horsepower, a little less torque than the Colorado did. At I think it's 310 horsepower. Anyway, that 0 to 60 was 7.35, so not too bad. I'll try and remember to get the screenshot of that put up on the screen. We'll do one more. So that was not brake torquing, and that was in 2-wheel drive. And so we'll go ahead and flip it over to all-wheel drive mode. All right, there. You're in all-wheel drive now. Okay, one more in all-wheel drive. 3, 2, 1, go. Again, no brake torquing. This is just flat footing it. And you can see pulls almost all the way to 7,000. And we got the exact same number, 7.35. Oh, I lied, 7.53 in all-wheel drive. So lose a little bit of efficiency, a little bit of power getting to the ground. And oddly enough, I've noticed that in a couple of these vehicles that have the all-wheel drive system. Yes, you have better traction off the line. It's not spinning the tires as much, but there must be some efficiency loss and power loss through the drivetrain trying to drive all 4 wheels. So it does end up going just a little bit slower. And I mean, it could have been me. That difference is 0.2 of a second on the GPS, so it's not too much off. All right, we are in off-road mode even just getting up to the base of this hill, I had to turn off traction control. So stability control is on, traction control is off. And there is no easy line. There's a medium line that we're gonna go for and hope we can make. So I'm still not quite sure with this, the wheelbase on this vehicle and all that, I'm not sure I can get to it, doing this how I want to. I mean, I'm full throttle right now. And this is not a hard part. So, see if we can try that one more time, but like I said, that was not the spot where I was expecting to have problems. So we'll try the other line real quick. There's one other spot, or other route I wanted to try here if I didn't make the first one. So let's give it a shot. I don't think there's any way we're making the crest in the top on this. Especially if I'm not carrying momentum, but I don't want to damage anything. Right here is going to be the hard spot. Full throttle. Starting to slide sideways too much. Just not going to do it. That's what I expected to happen with this vehicle on this hill. Okay. I can't quite tell on the camera if we are lined up where I want to be or not. And not quite, but we'll be all right. It just doesn't quite have the torque it needs in low gearing, of course, to be able to transfer power while climbing, you know, break the spinning wheels that are in the air. So before people start talking about needing better tires, in this case, it's got two wheels essentially in the air with zero traction. So if it can't break those wheels and get the two wheels on the ground that do have traction spinning, then better tires won't really make a difference. So yeah, this hill, I gotta get that other camera anyway. This hill's pretty darn rough now. These holes, like even the little one here, that's a foot deep. We're 2 feet deep here almost, and then you get crossed up. So the rear passenger side wheel in there, driver's side wheel there, and it's just not able to make it. And as you can see from my tire marks, I was kind of driving right over the center of those until I got up to this one here. So it's just, maybe I need to bring a pick out and break that stuff down a little bit and fill it in here. Not sure what I'm gonna do, but as far as being able to climb it with all four wheels on the ground, it would do it. It's just once it starts to articulate, like even up here, it would make this section until the breakover. It would be pretty close and maybe not make the breakover. So anyway, we're gonna call that quits, see if we can get off the hill without damaging anything. Thank you for watching Engine Adventures review of this 2022 Chevy Traverse RS. Very comfortable, 7-passenger. You can fit 6 people comfortably in it. And quite a lot of space. It's nearly the size of a Tahoe as far as interior cargo volume. They're pretty close. This actually might be a touch bigger. But the ground clearance, and obviously it's just not made to go off-road, not made to tow a ton. It can actually tow, I think, 5,000 pounds, not too bad. Yeah, not a bad vehicle overall. Fuel mileage is great on the freeway. I was very happy with the fuel mileage on the freeway, and even with all my testing and stuff, it's been around 20 miles per gallon, which it sits idling for a little bit of that. Anyway, if you liked what you saw, be sure to hit subscribe, ring the bell so you get notifications when we post new videos, and give me a thumbs up. Also, be sure to comment down below. Let me know what you want to see, what tests you want to see. If you want me to start towing with these little crossovers, well, big crossovers, the little ones, I don't think I have a trailer small enough. But anyway, if you want to see some other types of tests, let me know. I'll see what I can do. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.